What up, y'all? It's Chris Weathers, aka Shorty C94, and we are back with yet another Shorty's Sneaker Conversations. It's been a while since I had one. This is episode 154. What's up, Claudius? What's up, Fern to Burn? What's up, Jay? Let's see if we can get our guests. Oops. Set the invite. What's up, Soul Faithful? What's up, Miss Chrissy? Hi, there she is.
What's going on, Chris?
Hey, not much, Risa. How you been?
I won't complain. Just getting old, I guess.
Yeah. So, I've already interviewed you. It was years ago. Things were so different
Oh my
than what
goodness.
I had to say. It's great to see you. Me and you go back all the way back to Coco B. Chloe. You know what I'm saying?
Way, way back. It's so interesting, Chris, because like you and I have been like internet friends like over 10 years.
Hmm.
Um, and we've never met in person.
Yeah, that's wild. That's
You know what I'm
wild.
saying? Like we've never met in person, but this is the power of the internet. Like we've known each other like since before I had my kids. It's like crazy
Hmm.
when you think about it.
Hey, I mean, you've been studying for a long time, man. Currently crewing. I never even knew about that hashtag until you.
Yo, man, listen, that's just it's so funny. Like very I don't know. I don't think that I've held on to people over the years. So the fact that you are like, yo, you used to be Coco Bean Chloe, like, yo, you really gotta know me to know these things, bro. Like
Yeah.
you really gotta know me, man. Yeah, currently crewing when I was an educator, I was an educator for 20 years.
Hmm.
And J. Crew became my go-to for, my workwear.
Hmm.
And um and it was dope once Instagram popped off and I found a currently crewing hashtag. It was dope to see other um black men and women in professional spaces, you know what I'm saying, repping in J. Crew. And I think because of that, J. Crew has definitely started to use more a more diverse population for their models and their catalogs, which is great. It's nice to it is. It's nice to see. So I don't rock J. Crew as much anymore. I'm married and I cover every day, but I still wear my sneakers.
I got you. I got you. So
I still,
it's
yep.
fair to say you cover more now than before.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I kind
So
of
this is how you'll see me.
now I kind of figured as much because I'm like when you had sent me the thing, I was like, oh, okay. I kind of figured it was kind of along those lines, but I didn't want to ask and be
Yeah.
inappropriate. So
Yeah. It's
you
okay.
know,
It's good. It's good to ask. It's not even about being inappropriate. It's good to ask. It's good to, some people get offended, but I'd rather you ask than to make assumptions. Some people just become very comfortable with assuming. Actually, I took my Shahada in 2002 when I was still in college. So I've been Muslim all this time. I just haven't been practicing as consistently as I've been since I got married.
okay. Well,
So.
let's speak on that. I'm not gonna get too deep, but how are you enjoying married life?
It is awesome. Marrying the right person is critical, right? That's key. That's key. This
For
is this
sure,
is
for
actually
sure.
this is my second husband.
Oh,
And so yeah.
I didn't know you were married before.
Yeah, I was married before, like on paper.
Ah, I got you. I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like on paper I was married. And the dude I was married to, he was also on Sneaker Play. And that's actually how we met. That's how I met my first husband.
Oh,
But yeah, that was it's like it was a starter marriage. It's one of those things you do in your early 20s, your mid 20s. You're thinking, oh, it's time to get married, so you do it, and then it's like, this was a big mistake. But yeah, I'm enjoying married life. My husband and I, we actually run a nonprofit organization together called Safe Corridors. And I've been able to bring my 20 years of educator experience and combine it with his 25 plus years of community organizing. And Safe Corridors, we are the, sorry, I'm in the truck. We are the fastest growing nonprofit organization in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. And what is it that we do? We provide community based safety solutions to schools and the community at large. So, to be more specific, right, we purposely solicit members of the community where our school partners are located, the people who live around the school. We flyer their homes and tell them like, hey, we're hiring. We vet these people. We provide them with trauma informed training, and then we place them inside of school buildings as additional adult eyes and ears. And what that does for the school is it increases the number of adults in the building, and it decreases the likelihood of students behaving uncharacteristically because now they have somebody from their community that they recognize in their school. That
Oh,
person might be, do you see what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, oh, I've seen you before. You go to the Wawa I go to. Or I know you, you're a family friend, right? Or you're popular in my neighborhood as an older person. And we've actually, we've actually experienced a lot of success with our program, and we do other things as well. We also manage crossing guards. We have arrival and dismissal crews that help to maintain and conduct traffic flow during arrival and dismissal times outside of schools. We put together pardon and expungement clinics, for people who are justice impacted and want and need a clean record, right? So that they have a fresh start in life, so that they can get a better paying job. This is all about community health, right? Not the physical health of a community, but the safety health and the social health of the community. And I'm really proud of the work that we've done. When I met my husband, he had already established the organization, and when I met him, he had about 10 or 12 people kind of working with him. We're now at 125 employees.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it's a breath of fresh air because one, I get to work with my husband, right? Like not many women can say that. I get to continue to do work that I really enjoy and love, and it's impactful, it's community based, and sometimes we get sick of each other because I'm waking up with him, then I go to the office, we both at the office. That we come home, now we at home. It's like, yo, y'all see each other all day. And we do, but we work really well together. And we've been able to grow this organization and grow our impact. Safecorridorspa.org. We're always taking donations. It's a nonprofit, and we are just very committed to community health and community improvement.
Okay. Okay.
Married life is
See,
great, man.
I see. I see. Nah, I applaud you. I mean, during my married years, my wife and I worked at the same company for about a year, and our schedules were similar. And I'm like, I'm a retail guy, so I'm used to having a random Tuesday or Wednesday where I can just kind of launch off and do my own thing.
Hmm.
If I want to go thrift or go look for sneakers, whatever. You
Whatever.
know, it's like now it's Monday through Friday. It's like, oh yeah, we're both off. So it's something I had to get used to, but it only lasted for a little bit. Then I ended up kind of going back to retail. The Monday through Friday thing, I couldn't. It didn't work for me as a married man.
I understand. Listen,
Yeah.
it's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not for everybody, and it's something that I personally always wanted for myself. In full transparency,
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to be married to a man that was doing the same or similar work as me, so that I had somebody to grow with, right? Both personally and professionally. I'm a fifth generation educator. I'm a special, I'm using the word special. I'm a different type of person. I am. And sometimes I rub people the wrong way because I'm direct, I'm transparent. I want to get things done in a timely fashion. Some people be like, oh, you're too aggressive. So, I always felt like if I was able to partner with someone who was in a similar industry as me, you know what I'm saying, then we could build and grow together. So I don't know. So I'm happy.
I mean, these people who are saying these things about aggression, do they not know that you're from the city?
That part, right? It's like I don't know how else to slice it. Like I'm a New Yorker through and through. I'm always gonna be a New Yorker. When I get very hyped, the accent gets very thick. I can't help it. But Chris, like I now live and work in a completely different part of the United States. I'm not in New York. I live
Mm-hmm.
in a suburb of Philadelphia. And the
Yeah.
culture down here is very different. It's very, very different than the culture back home in New York, man.
Okay. So let me ask you about that then. And again, I hate to say it like this, and I don't want to offend you or anybody else from the
Nope,
tri-state
not at
area
all.
when I say this, but it's kind of like being from Cleveland, Ohio. I've been to New York, um, been to Philadelphia, but when you're not from the tri-state, it's kind of like what big area to some to an outsider. It's like you got New York, you got Philly, you got New Jersey. It's all right there. So if you can't be in the city, isn't Philly like the next best place to be?
It is, and I'm gonna be honest with you. The culture in Philly, like Philly, New York, Washington, D.C., and Atlanta are all cousins. They all first cousins, man. You know what I'm saying? And the culture is so similar, but also different. It is. It is different. Um, where I'm at now, living right outside of Philly, even when I was working in Philly, you know, black women down here, it's literally just two types. It's two types. Either you're, and this is the perception, either you're very professional and bougie, or you are undereducated, right? And quote unquote ghetto. There's not a whole lot of in between in terms of perception in this area. And so if you don't fall into one of those two buckets and people can't quickly categorize you, you become this other thing that's not necessarily positive. So I don't take being labeled as aggressive as a bad thing, because it just means like, yo, you recognize I'm confident, I'm cool with who I am. I feel very confident in my intelligence, right? And my ability to follow through, and I'm confident in my work. That's the that's not really the culture down here. I think that younger black women are definitely helping to push the needle forward so that isn't the culture going forward. But for right now, yeah, people be like, "Yo, you aggressive." I'll be like, "Yep." All right, when are you going to answer my email?
Yeah. Now I feel it. Like, you know, the way you said about the cities, I kind of feel that way about Cleveland, Chicago, and Detroit, where
There
we're
you go.
all cousins. We're similar, but still very different.
Mhm.
We're still all within 6 hours of each
Of
other.
each other.
You
Exactly.
know.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, let me just say before I forget, because we're at least you still look young. It's over for me. I got all this gray.
You got hella great, Chris. What's going on?
It's a lot of things. I mean, you know about what I've been dealing
Hmm.
with, but
Hmm.
even
Yeah.
before that, ever since I moved to the South, my beard doesn't grow big anymore, and it's just been great. And um, my first doctor down here was like, "Oh well, a lot of times if it could be a climate change or whatnot." But people be thinking I'm like 50 years old with this beard, and I'm like,
No.
I'm not even 45. Like I'll be 45 in December, but I'm not 50. You know,
Chris. Chris. Chris.
hey,
I need you. I'm gonna need you to eat your leafy green vegetables every day. I'm gonna need you to take 45-minute walks every day. For real. And you know what else you should do? You should integrate into your diet black seed oil. Black seed oil.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, they just
Yes.
they see the gray and think I'm 50, you know. But
Horrible. Horrible. You got me by what? You said you're gonna be 45 in December. You only got me by 3 years, man. I'm 42.
yeah, but I mean, even in the early tens when we first started conversing on the internet, you was younger beyond, you know, you looked even younger than you look now. Then, like you've always had a young a young look, you know, like
I've been blessed. I appreciate that.
yeah,
I do. I
yeah.
appreciate that. I've definitely been blessed. And listen, man, I'm gonna be honest with you though. You see this down here,
Mm, it's only a little.
I
Yeah.
put on a couple pounds. You hit your 40s. It's not easy to lose weight like you did when you was in your 20s. You just skip a couple meals,
Oh,
run some laps. There you go, 10 pounds gone. Not anymore, bro.
see,
Not
for me,
anymore.
it was a double whammy because I turned 40 in 2020,
Mm,
so it was during the pandemic. So unfortunately, since 2018, I've been diabetic. When we
mm,
first met online, I was
mm-hmm.
not diabetic.
Yeah.
My last office job, which was the job I was telling you about that I had, with my ex-wife and I worked at the same company.
Hmm.
I'm one. People say, "Well, you're addicted to sneakers." I'm like, I'm not addicted to sneakers, but I am addicted to pop. So,
Soda?
yeah,
Okay.
in Cleveland we call it pop.
Right. I was like,
So,
just want to make sure.
what's up, souls and things? Um, yeah. So the job, I mean, it was office like they would bring in pop every day, and it was free, and it was just like unlimited. So I was probably getting my daily caloric intake in just pop
And
or something,
just soda. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so that kind of took me over. But you know, being 40, turning 40 in the pandemic, I lost a bunch of weight from the diabetes. I was
Mm-hmm.
taking medicine, I was working out, and then the pandemic happened, and it just it just kind of took everything out. But
Mm-hmm.
I've lost
Mm-hmm.
all of that weight back. But it's a struggle. It's cool. It's
Listen,
cool.
man, please know that, you I know that it's not easy. Um, I know that. I know that it's not easy. And sugar is the most addictive thing. It's like literally, it's right up there with your hard drugs. So I know that it's not easy. Um, and listen, man, you take it day by day. You personally have to take it day by day. You know, um, Being diabetic is no joke. My husband is diabetic.
Mhm.
He's about 20 years older than me, right? And
Okay.
I've definitely, over the last 2 years that we've been married, there have been episodes where it's like, yo, what's going on? And I've had to learn a lot quickly, so that, yes, souls and things, I feel the same way.
Yeah,
I
me
just
too.
just by breathing, I just gain weight, right? So being supportive of him, and understanding what he's navigating, I think has helped me to be a better wife, which is what I strive for. I strive to be a good wife. I say all that to say, Chris, that soda is real. It's a real addiction. They put stuff in there to make you addicted, and I'm just gonna push you to try something different, bro. For real. I have learned to love. I love seltzer water. Some people say it tastes like TV static. I get it. You know. I get it. But I need that fizzy sensation sometimes when I'm eating. Yo, seltzer water. If I'm like, yo, I can't do seltzer water today, I'm gonna mash up a lemon, a blood orange, add, like maybe 3 or 4 ounces of juice and seltzer water. And now I've made my own quote unquote healthy soda. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of alternatives that aren't as easy to get to as a can of soda. right? So I don't want you to feel like I'm lecturing you. I just want you to know that I understand. Your health is your wealth, bro. Your health is your wealth. You know what I'm saying? You not being here, you not being healthy is detrimental to your son. And I know you know that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I know I'm preaching to the choir, and I appreciate you being vulnerable with me and sharing, you know what I'm saying, in a very public format, something that you've had to navigate and battle. And I want you to know it's not easy and it's not designed to be easy. You know what I'm saying? Black men and black women, we have the highest rate of hypertension, right? Which is the same as high blood pressure,
Mhm.
diabetes, kidney failure. I lost my mother and my father to kidney failure.
Oh,
My mom died in 2019, man. My mom died, man. And she had already had a kidney transplant 10 years prior. So, it was like, yo, you can't get another transplant. It's a wrap.
yeah.
So I'm saying this and I'm being vulnerable with you because like I get it. It's not easy. Yo, and it's a daily fight. The best thing you can do for your body is work out. That's the best thing you can do. Of course, monitor your diet and all of that, but the best thing you can do is work out. I push my husband to go to the gym at least 3 times a week. My husband, my husband is going to be 60 in about 2 weeks. People tell him all the time, yo, you don't look 60. And it's because he works out.
Mm.
That's it, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like to work out, but I will walk 3 or 4 or 5 miles. I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? That's my form of workout. I'm gonna get those steps in. I strive for 10,000 steps a day. I'm a walk. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? You got to start somewhere, bro. You got to start somewhere. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm pushing you about this. You know what I'm saying? Because your life matters, your mental health, all of that is tied. It's all tied together. Your physical, your mental, and your spiritual is all tied together. I'm not trying to lecture you. I have a lot of respect and love for you. We've known each other in this way like for a really long time. You like my brother, bro. You know what I'm saying? You really are. We need you here. And because of a lot of the stuff, now I'm gonna switch it up on you. A lot of the things that you have done online have paved the way for other niggas. Let's get into this. I'm switching it up. I've been waiting for this convo. Bro, you was one of the first dudes that I knew that, yo, your collection is so extensive. So extensive. You was one of the first dudes that I knew that not only had a crazy collection, but interacted with other people online in a real down to earth way. You started, these chats, these sneaker chats, and now other people are doing podcasts just about sneakers.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You ain't got to talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it because you know what I'm saying. I've been here. You know what I'm saying. I was online with dial up and AOL Instant Messenger, right? You know what I'm saying. I've been here, and it's certain things that I've seen, I've watched. Yo, you are one of. It's crazy to me how so few people give you your flowers. It's crazy to me. Like, yo, we not gonna acknowledge that Chris been doing this, bro. Like, we just gonna skip over that fact. It's crazy to me, and I just want you to know that I see it, and I'm sure other people see it too.
Nah, especially coming from you, that means a lot. I had somebody tell me that people don't rock with me like they used to because of the Converse thing, and I'm like, well, a lot of these people were here before that situation even started. So if that's all it took, then you was never really rocking with me to begin with. Anybody
What
can wear.
what Converse thing? The fact that you
Well,
wear
yeah,
Converse?
I mean that I work for them and I wear them, and I'm not just posting Jordans and
Then
LeBrons.
mine's.
So I've I've heard that, but I don't care. I mean, even after this is over, I love Converse. So it's just gonna be what it is.
I mean, honestly, Chris, you showing your age. That's what I really think it is. Converse was the first, at one point in time, was the only sneaker brands in America.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of sneakerheads today are, one, much younger than you and I,
Hmm.
right? A lot of sneakerheads today are much younger than the two of us. And two, because they're much younger, they didn't watch, they didn't watch basketball. Like, they didn't grow up on what we grew up on.
Yeah. I have some questions regarding that in a sec, but um, nah, you're right, and it's. I feel like with a lot of things, it shows with sports, with music, with sneakers, with a lot of things where there's always going to be a disconnect between the new generation and our generation, and then our parents' generation. You know, because it's really interesting to me that these kids, like, all right, your sons are getting older.
They're 9 and
I
10.
don't. Yeah, so they're already crossed and about to cross double digits.
Hmm.
Um, my son is 17. Well, he's about to be 17. Everything they want is old. You know, you know how the kids they want shell toes and gazelles and Jordan 4s and New Balances. It's like, what? You don't want any John Morants? You don't want any Anthony Edwards? You don't want that? You just want old stuff.
Well, I mean, but that's because of you being his dad. Like, I have two sons. One of my sons is he loves Nike Air Max, but that's because that's what I put on him since he was born. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? My oldest son, Max, his first pair of sneakers when he was about 3 months old, right? Because you got to use the soft bottoms at first. But
Mm-hmm.
his first pair of sneakers was Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
That, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was my son Max's first pair of sneakers, man. His very first pair. Then after that, I got him some Jordans. He had Jordan 14s, the black and yellow Johns,
Mm.
because that was the next thing that came out. So and then when I had Malcolm at first he got the hand-me-downs, but then I decided, okay, Max is more a Air Max type of kid, and Malcolm is my Jordan head.
Mm.
So Malcolm loves Jordans. He loves Jordan 1s real bad. He loves Jordan 1s real bad, real bad. And Malcolm has gone through quite a few of my retros. Like, I just gave them to him. You know what I'm saying? My Olympic 7s, my Obsidian 12s. You know what I'm saying? What else is he going through? My black and pink 14s. I can't believe I let him rock those. Like, oh yeah, yeah. Because it's like, who did I collect all of this stuff for? It was for my kids, so that they could enjoy it as well. But now their feet are too big, so I get all my sneakers.
Hey,
But yeah, like, yo, kids now, like, I think it has a lot to do, like I said, with the nurturing, like who their parents are. Our kids like retros because we like retros. We're we are the cool people to our kids. We're cool.
I think you're still cool to your kids. My kid tells me I am not.
He doesn't. Don't believe the hype, bro. Don't
Nah, I don't.
believe the hype.
I don't believe it. I told him the other day. I was like, son, everything you do is cool. It's because of me. It's not even because of your mother. It's because of me. It's because of me. And I said it where she could hear it, but she ain't say nothing. So, I was expecting her to say something, but it's whatever. But I do have to give you props before I forget on you wearing them Air Rifts, man.
Listen,
Like,
man. Yeah,
is that real?
yeah.
Wearing some Rifts?
Yo, man. You got, like, it's funny you said that because he's Buckeye City Soul said his kids never made it to his size, but they cop. Oh, you must wear like a 13 or a crazy size, man.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Buck.
I'm a,
Oh.
I've been a kid's a boy's size 5 or 5.5 since I was in third grade.
Mm.
So it was inevitable. My kids would, make it to my size, and now they both 6, 6.5. So that's done. Um, what? I got distracted by Buckeye City. So what did you say? Oh, the air rifts. Yo, I have to branch out. You know what I'm saying? I'm finally at that age where I feel comfortable branching out. Now, let me explain to you why I'm pushing myself to branch out. I don't like hardly any of the new stuff that's coming out. I'm I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? Some of the new colorways. See, like, I'm from the era where retros were bright colors. red, black, and white. So when Jordan and Nike started putting out retros in non-bread colorways, for me, those colorways is like, oh, these are fake. That's how I view it. That's how I've been programmed. That's how old I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of retros that are coming out in non-bread colorways, to me, it's like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Like this is some made in China, whatever, whatever, type stuff. So I don't like a lot of the new stuff coming out. And then on top of it, and this is where I get to brag, quite a few of the retros that's coming out, like I'm like, yo, I already had them. Or I still have them.
Yeah, this year especially. Like,
You know what I'm saying? Like, like great fives. No offense to nobody, been there, done that. I had great fives, Laney fives. I had the red satin Valentine's Day fives. You know what I'm
oh, I
saying?
remember.
Yes, right.
Yeah,
The all
yeah,
red satin with the pink. Yeah, I
yeah.
did it. I did that already. Like, yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool.
It's so
About the
interesting.
40s. What were you about to say,
And I
Chris?
was gonna say so interesting you said that because I was just telling that to one of my young dudes because he was like, "Well, it's all this stuff coming out this year," and I'm like, "Listen, being from the '80s, like we are, I'm always gonna love Jordans. Been wearing Jordans since the '80s, but
Yeah,
it's not the same. It's more or less like just replacing the 2013 pair because it might crumble. Like it's not the
that
same
part.
as
It's not.
It's like
I don't
everything
have the
that's come
same
out this
height to
year.
cop.
Yeah, everything that's come out this year. Like the only thing that I wanted a new pair of, even though my last pair is still icy because they changed it a little. I really wanted the new black metallic 5. It was the only one where I wanted
I
it.
got those.
I couldn't get.
Same. I grabbed those. Yes,
Yeah,
I
because
did
I'm like,
grab. Yep.
since I've been working for Nike slash Converse, every 5 that's come out has sat. There's never been
Every
a
single one.
5 sell out and just be gone.
No, no.
So OG colorway or not, that's why I'm like they sold out. Like they gone. I can't even get them for full price. Forget my discount. I just
Forget the
can't get them.
discount. You just can't get them.
Yeah. So everything else, the grapes, the cement forest, everything else was to be had. Where it's like if I wanted it, I could have got it. But those 5s was just gone. I just couldn't believe it. The white, black, and red 14s was like that too. They,
White, black, and
the
red. Yes, candy
the OG
14s. Yeah,
in November they were just gone, and they never
yeah.
restocked. They were
Nope.
just gone. I'm like, all right. So I've come to the conclusion that I feel like with certain numbers that aren't as popular, I just don't think that they make as many.
That's possible.
Like,
That's possible because they don't want the stuff to sit. And then you see a retro that used to be, that was mad popular when it first retroed, and now it's just like in the outlet for like a crazy discounted price. And you like, man, I paid full price for these. What?
yeah, yeah. So I think Buckeye City Soul was asking about the 40s. I think he's talking about the Jordan 40. Have you seen those?
I have seen them. I have seen them. And I'm gonna be honest with you, they look like a 40-year-old person's shoe. They do. They look like a sneaker that was made for a 40-year-old. Okay. Now, my problem with the 40s is that, and again, this is just my perspective, the 20s was fly. When the
Yeah,
20s dropped, yo, they was fly. Super fly. With the 40s,
yeah,
I feel
that
like the
weird
40s,
ankle.
the 40s look like Anthony Edwards sneaker.
Huh. I'll just say this, and I have to be careful how I word things since I guess technically I'm a Nike employee, but there are certain things
Uh-oh.
that come out where I question what demographic they were trying to go after with certain things. Certain times it's
Talk
obvious.
about
It's like
it.
if we come out with a orange and red and black Griffey, it's obvious we're going for the hood. If we come out with the Jordan 11, to me Jordan 11s are for everybody, you know.
Right.
But if we come
Right.
out with a Jordan 17 or 18, we'll make it more because we figure the people who are going for that are older, they're established, they can buy it. So certain things are obvious, but certain things, it's like I wonder who they were trying to get with that one.
Turn it down and get out. Hold on, I gotta redirect my kids. Hold on.
Sure.
I'm on a podcast, so y'all gotta go. Go to your rooms. There's air conditioning in there. Yes. Turn the AC on in your room.
That wasn't even New York. That was New York. YAWK.
Get the fuck out.
Oh
Get
man.
out.
Oh,
That's an interesting theory because it's so socio-economically connected and reflective. It's also a little bit of like you got to be conscious to peep that too.
mhm. Well, I attribute that to us just being a little older or more observant. I
Yeah,
mean, we love sneakers, so um, I have to ask this. I don't want to upset you.
it's okay.
So the Knicks, man. Now you're married to somebody who's clearly from the area and is a
My
76ers
husband is a
fan.
76ers fan. We actually were on is you are you am I frozen for you? Because you frozen for me. There
It
you are. We
was just
actually just a little delay. We actually were on the news. We got interviewed by the news, the local news.
okay.
Because my husband got us season tickets last season to the
Nice.
Sixers. So we were able to see whatever game we wanted. And I go up in there with my Knicks stuff on. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I go up in there with my Knicks gear on. So the people they interviewed us. I mean, listen, this is again, one of the best things about my husband. He accepts me for who I am. I
Good.
am a Knicks fan. I've been a Knicks fan. I'm always gonna be a Knicks fan. It's Knicks, Mets, Jets. I know some people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, you like losing teams." No, I'm loyal. This is what I was born into. I was born into being a Knicks fan, a Mets fan, and a Jets fan. My nickname was Mookie as a child after Mookie Wilson. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, man. Like I was born into it. So,
Wow.
I mean, listen. I think that we had an amazing season. Um, I think that people need to stop threatening us on the court because then their Achilles heel gets popped.
Mm.
I mean, that happened too. That happened twice. That happened twice, right? We got Tatum and we got Halliburton, right? So, maybe you
Yeah.
might want to stop doing that. Maybe you might want to wear some high tops when you balling so that your Achilles heel doesn't pop.
You said it. You said it.
And I am looking forward to next season. They just got this guy, Mike Brown. He was with the Sacramento Kings, so they got him on as our head coach. The best move that I'm really excited about, though, is that the Knicks got Yabusele. So Yabusele was playing for the 76ers last season. I was impressed by his performance if and when he got minutes. So the fact that he's now going to be on the Knicks, it's like that's a good look for us. That's a really good look for us. I think going into next year, because the West has continued to physically dominate, I really think that Jalen Brunson, he has to continue to um mold his leadership. This season he did a much better job of passing the ball, right? And being an assist to execute plays as opposed to trying to rain threes and missing them all the time, right? Josh Hart, I think he's a great second man. I think that he's going to continue to be a great second man. Um, Now we got Yabusele, we got Big Cat. You know what I'm saying?
OG.
Oh, listen, I'm a huge Ananobi fan, right? And all of these guys are like, from my perspective, they're young guys.
Yeah.
So it's exciting to feel as a Knicks fan to feel like something special is happening again.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean it's interesting because all right, even though I'm only wearing this Celtic shooting shirt, I'm wearing some Larry Bird sneakers. But
Shocking!
I
I'm
follow
so
the whole
shocked.
I follow the whole NBA. I was when the Knicks and the 76ers aren't playing the Cavs or the Lakers, I generally cheer for them. They're like my secret teams. The 76ers are one of my favorite historical teams because of
Right?
Dr. J and Charles
Of
Barkley and
course.
all those guys.
AI.
Yeah,
I mean,
Iverson.
how could you not? Yeah. Yeah.
The Knicks are a storied franchises. I feel like the NBA only really has the Knicks, the 76ers, the Lakers, the Celtics. You could say the Spurs or the Bulls, but to me, they were only good at certain times. They weren't like
Mm-hmm.
throughout the
Mm-hmm.
decades.
Mm-hmm.
So I always you're kind of right in the middle of that, and being where you're located. So I'm like, ah, that's interesting. She married somebody who, because I know that you've been all New York for a long time.
Yes.
Your stories be
That's me.
hilarious during the playoffs. I'm like, oh man.
My poor husband, sometimes he would have to like, so I have a house and my husband has a house, and his house is like 5 minutes from my house. And there were times during the playoff season, he'd be like, listen, I'm going to my house. I'm going to go watch the game in peace. Because I am in this bedroom and I'm screaming at the screen. I'm cursing. I'm waking up hoarse the next day.
Hmm.
I love it. I love it. I love basketball. I love Knicks basketball. And I always have. You know what I'm saying? I always have and I always will. It's just one of those things. And now my kids, now my kids look forward to the playoffs. My son Malcolm played organized basketball last season. Um, and it was like I was just like, oh, all of my basketball mom dreams come true.
Speaking of which, like I was thrifted yesterday after work, and I found this. It's a little Antigua fourth zip. I'm like, this is how I know, it's gonna be good talking to you. Because you're one of the people that I think of when I see this logo. Like I thrifted this, and maybe about a month ago, it was in a Goodwill. I found a Patrick Ewing Mitchell and Ness jersey. I couldn't believe it. That was a
The
'56, which was
goodwill? How disgraceful.
yeah, it was because usually if I see a jersey, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be some shit. It's gonna be small or it's gonna be some
Yeah.
foolery or something. And I see it, New York 33. I look at the tagging to make sure it's real, and it's an older Mitchell and Ness jersey before they started doing the mass production.
Hmm.
So yeah, I
Everything
found
is
two.
stitched on.
Oh yeah,
Everything is hand
it's the
stitched
thing.
on. Yeah.
Because I used to have that jersey back in the early 2000s, but I sold it to one of my friends because it was a 60. It was way too big. It was the 56 is really too
Mm.
long, but the
Okay.
60, but that's how we wore it back then. It was
Yeah.
big.
Big.
So,
Swimming in it.
and I'm such a, and I mean, I know Mitchell and Ness is a Philly thing too. I'm such a fan of Mitchell and Ness that even if it's a team I don't necessarily love, their craftsmanship and my love for basketball, it's like I love
Go hand
Larry
in
Bird.
hand.
So
Yeah.
I have to have this, even though I'm a Lakers fan. It should be burning my skin. I've been a
It
Lakers
should be,
fan
but
for a long time.
forever.
Yeah,
Forever.
yeah,
Okay. You bleed purple and gold, bro.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
okay. It's okay. I mean, I appreciate the Knicks love. I'm always gonna be a Knicks fan, and my sons know that about me. They know that. And now they're Knicks fans.
Hey, you all are always. It's always gonna be top billing just because New York is New
It's New
York.
York. Exactly like it's New York, bro. Like let's be for real for just 2 seconds of our lives. I mean, but again, like I was just I was born into it. My mom was so multifaceted and so dynamic. She was very feminine, but also had that tomboy edge to her, even in her later years. And that's just who I am. I'm
Yeah,
like a carbon copy of
I'm
my
about to
mom.
say. I feel the same way about you.
Yeah, like
You're very feminine, but you still got that that
I get it.
you
I get
know.
it from my mama, through and through. And just being, I think, a child of the '90s, and what I mean by that is like being a teenager in the '90s literally set the foundation, right, for who I would become as an adult. And we got to be teenagers without social media. You know,
Yeah, we
you know
did.
what I'm saying? We got to be teenagers when there was, at least I didn't grow up with cable, so we had 7 television channels. That was it. you know um you played outside. It was okay for you to play outside. It wasn't as dangerous as it is now. I was a latchkey kid. My mom, she would go to work. I got the key to when I come straight home from school, make myself something to eat, do my homework, and stay out of trouble, right? Because my mom had to be at work. So I just say all that to say that it's good to be able to think back to where we were and then think to where we are now. right? Because we were 90s kids, it influenced us to love sneakers. I mean, being from the hood on top of that, right? I'm a New Yorker. You're from Cleveland. Like, we're both from two different hoods, but the hood no less. And the hood is the hood, regardless of where you go in this country.
Yeah,
And all of us we grew up at a time when, dudes in the hood, like, yo, the dudes on the corner, the dudes who was doing hand to hand, those are the ones who set the fashion trends. Air Max
yes,
night, right? Air Max 95s, Air Max 97s, 93s, right? you know, loose clothing, oversized clothing, all of that was because that's what we saw the dudes on the corner wearing. So that's
yeah,
what we wanted to wear,
yeah.
even
Now you
as
right.
a girl.
I feel like it was a combination of that. If you were into sports, of course, the athletes and
Yep.
product placement on TV shows
Say
was also really big.
more. Say more about that, because my mind immediately goes someplace.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I feel like people always go to Martin and Will. A lot of people forget about Jerry. A lot of people think
Seinfeld.
about the
That's exactly where my brain went.
yeah,
Boy Meets
um,
World.
yeah, um, a different world. Um,
Hmm.
like I said, the Wayans on A Living
Yep.
Color and the Wayans brothers. They always
Yes.
um, it was a really good time to where it's like, even like I said, Seinfeld. I wasn't really a huge fan of Home Improvement, but even you know Tim Taylor had the infrared sixes
Yes, he
on
did.
in
Yes,
episodes.
he
I'm
did.
like, and his kids always had the kicks. So
His
you
kids
know,
always had him.
yeah.
JT, right? I think the kid's name
Mhm.
was like Justin Taylor or something like that. JT, he always had on Jordans.
Jonathan Taylor
There
Thomas. Yeah,
you
yeah,
go, Jonathan
yeah,
Taylor Thomas.
yeah.
Yep.
It came to me. But I'll go back even further. It wasn't as prevalent, but even watching old Cosby episodes, like I was watching season one, and this dude that Denise was talking to, he had on some Vandals that were red with a yellow swoosh outlined in black. Like I remember them from the early 2000s. I didn't even know it was an OG colorway until I seen that episode. Whenever I think
Wow.
Vandals, I always think of that silver one with the red and the blue.
With the
I
red and
always
the
think
blue.
of that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like Jordan 2's on there. Theo having some of the kicks, and
Mm-hmm.
McCall was on there. Taco J
Mm-hmm.
had the kicks, so but yeah, Jerry is the deep cut. People forget about Jerry.
Jerry's been a Jordan head for a long time. And I think that some people forget about Jerry because he's not black. I'm
Yes,
just gonna, I'm just to be very transparent,
yeah,
right?
right.
I don't think that you know what I'm saying. Like, I enjoyed Seinfeld, watching Seinfeld growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was funny, but it was a white show, right? It wasn't a different world. It wasn't in living color. It wasn't any of the traditional quote unquote black programming. But I enjoyed Seinfeld, and if you watch Seinfeld, there were especially when he had on a new pair of kicks, yo, he would make sure that you saw his whole outfit.
Mm-hmm.
The shirt, his jeans, his shirt tucked into his jeans with the belt
Yeah,
and the kicks. You
yeah,
saw the whole thing.
yeah. Because I mean, he was wearing Jordans, but also other Nikes. He was wearing Hirachis and Bo Jacksons and
Yeah, man.
the East Sampras shoes. He had all of that, but when I think of him and the Jordans, it's always the Cardinal 7, the Sport Blue 6, the Grape 5. Like he had all,
Mm, mm.
you know.
All the classics, all the classics that came out. I grab a pair of French Blue Sevens last year. Yeah, man. I was like, oh, I need these. I need these.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else I got last year? I grabbed a couple of pairs that I had been fiending for years. Okay, the French Blue Sevens.
Okay.
I got Flint Sevens.
Ooh, okay. That's
Yes, I have been dying for
cut.
them. I got the Grape 95s,
Ooh, the women's joints. Yeah, yeah.
the silver and the gray and the purple.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I grabbed a pair of white fives. Um, what else did I grab last year? Mm, I feel like those are my standout grabs, to be honest with you. And then this year, I tried to kind of chill out a little bit with the sneakers. I've been buying more clothes, more makeup. Lots of lip gloss, lots of lip gloss. Um, and now I'm just into Air Riffs, man. They're comfortable. Um, I I I'm not a amazing Margiela person. And I had a pair of Air Riffs way back when, but now I'm just
Mhm.
like I feel like I'm kind of just like rediscovering them, and I like them. And nobody else has them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna walk past somebody that got them on their feet
Yeah, I mean they don't come out too often. I've
in
never had a
America.
yeah, yeah. Like I've never had the regular Air Rift. They had an Air Rift too. I'm gonna send you
Mhm.
uh, a picture of me. I sold a bunch of shoes when we moved down here. Shoes that my friends were into. I'm like, you want these? And I sold a bunch of. I'm like, you want these? All right,
You
yeah,
sure?
you can get them. Here, give me $35. You can have them. Whatever. I don't care.
Done.
But because I can't charge friends, like sneaker prices. I just can't do.
Oh, that's so kind of you.
Yeah, no, not my actual friends, but um, yeah, I've always been impressed by the way that you wear sneakers.
Thank you.
You
Thank
know,
you.
and even with you, you're in a different stage of your life and you're covering now, but you still have the sneakers.
And I still wear them. You know,
Mhm.
during the summer, not as much. I have a pair of Louis Vuitton sandals. I call them my Jesus sandals. Slip my foot in, do the Velcro, and I'm out. Um, but during the fall, during the winter, like that's I get my overgarments cut at a particular length so that you can see my sneaker.
Okay. I was gonna ask you how that always happened. Like, how do they, it seems like sometimes y'all pants are meant to be where they kind of drag a little bit,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
you get
Hmm.
them
Yeah, I mean,
tailored.
like, yeah. I have like two or three seamstresses that I always purchase my overgarments from, and you know, one of them I'm like, yo, give me 52 inches or 53 inches, maybe 52 and a half is perfect because then my overgarment isn't hitting the floor. You can see my sneaker, and now I don't have to worry about my sneaker getting dirty,
Right.
but I'm still covered.
Nah, I got you. Well, is there anything coming out this year that has your interest? Are you gonna get the aquas again, or are you gonna do the shattered backboards? Are you kind of gonna just let that stuff kind of go, or what do you?
Uh,
That aqua,
yeah, I'm
that,
not the
yeah.
aqua the aqua eights. I enjoyed them when I first had them. I don't think I need them again.
Hmm.
I don't. I think that I'm more excited about some Air Max that I've seen coming out. That I might not cop. I don't know, man. I think I'm just in a different place now, and I'm not liking none of the new stuff, man. I'm really not liking it. I prefer. I'm one of those types of people. I go on eBay and I can scroll for hours. You know what I'm saying? I can. I'm an eBay buyer. I've been rocking with eBay. I know how to look at reviews and figure out who is a solid buyer and who isn't. I know what types of pictures people take and all of that stuff. I'll go on eBay, like the spirit will move me. I'll be like, "Ooh, I really want a new pair." Like right now, I would love another pair of all gold 97s.
Oh, go with the red swoosh.
Yes,
Okay.
I
Those
would.
should.
You know what I'm saying?
Those
Huh?
those those might those might actually still be on Nike.
They might. They might. I'm gonna check the site. You know what I'm saying? I'm in an air rifts situation right now. We're very much locked in. I got the pink ballerina pair. I got the red leather pair. The next pair is gonna be the black ballerinas. After that, I have my eye on some light purple Johns. Like I'm really in an air rift situation right now. But like when I think about okay, what's gonna be my next like finally sneaker cop? It's gonna be another pair of gold 97s. Definitely. It's definitely gonna be another pair of gold 97s.
If you don't have them already, you should try to find the Halle Berry rifts. I mean they from '03, so they may or may not be wearable,
They
but you
may
know how
might
that is.
yeah,
But
that's
the way the
the
rift is made, it should be all right.
I think so because the soul of the rift is not like the soul of, other Air Max, right? Of other Air Max. The Air Rift sneaker is very popular in like Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia.
Hmm.
It's very, very popular in Asia. And so any new Air Rifts that have come out, they haven't come out. They don't put them out here. They put them out overseas. So what I've started doing is like I go on Goat and I'm able to find a lot of stuff on Goat, and then I just got to pay the shipping and handling from overseas.
And then with little that little size you got, that 5.5 wide, women's 7. How hard is it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, I have little feet, man. I've been blessed. I have little feet. I have. What are you looking forward to copping this year? Because the year is halfway through, so you know the holiday's gonna be here. What's coming out this holiday? They got some like all white 11 coming out. Like stuff like that doesn't do anything for me.
The all right. So because I'm kind of in a strange situation. So because I don't have 80 to 85% of my sneakers in this apartment, because I'm so used to living in a house, there have been shoes that I have bought over again because it's like, yeah, go
Mm.
to your storage, but the way it is, man, it's hard for me to go there because it depresses me that I don't have my sneakers. And
Yeah,
then it's not where I could be like, I want to wear my Cement Forest from 2016 and I can just put my hand on it. It's not like that in there. Everything is
yeah,
just kind of in there.
yeah.
I used to have
It's
two
packed in.
storages where I could do that, but it started getting too expensive. So I
Mm-hmm.
just had to put everything into one.
Imagine
So
that.
I will buy shoes over again. So it's kind of like, yeah, I want a pair of Aquas for the apartment because I don't know where my pair from 2015 is. I know they're in there. I just don't know
Okay,
where they are.
that's fair.
And since it's so many shoes, I, I can't really be there too long because I don't want anybody to walk by and see them.
Mm-hmm.
Happened once. I was gonna be on this guy's show, and he wanted me to pull like some carnivores. It was specifically about trainers, so I was grabbing all of these trainers, Dion's and stuff. And these people walked by and they were like, "Oh my god!" And they were just talking to me. And I was on the phone, and they were just talking to me. And it got to a point where I'm like, "Yeah, I can't really ever come here when people are gonna be
Yeah.
here." So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of everything I've gotten here, it's like, yeah, I just want a pair for the apartment. I bought a pair of black cement threes when I came back,
Okay.
because of a
That's
pair
a
for the
solid.
apartment.
That's yep. That's
You
a
know,
solid pair.
I have some Jordans here, but it's really just a bunch of ones. It's other random assorted pairs, but that Aqua 8 is special to the point where even though I don't really care for how the new one looks, because the gray on the back is way too light. It's way too light. But
The
I need a pair
gray on the
for
back is supposed to be reflective. So what are they doing?
yeah, it's the way these I'll if you haven't seen them after we close off here, I'll send you a picture of how the new Aquas look. You're gonna look at it and be
Okay.
like,
Mhm.
the
Oh,
2015.
oh. What about the? Is it true? I've seen some pictures floating around the steel gray tents
Oh, yeah, those are coming back, and they're gonna come back with the box with all the
with
pictures
the
on it.
box on the pictures, and the toe box looks a little different. I definitely want those.
Yeah, actually, that was funny you brought that up. That's the only like old OG pair I have here in this apartment.
The steel gray
Um,
tents.
yeah, with the toe cap. So even though
Wow.
I have, yeah, I'll grab them right quick. Even though I have them, I they look like they're from 1994. So y'all gotta excuse my place. I haven't been here in a few days, but yeah,
Wow, man.
they're made. They're gonna have the blue Jumpman on the back instead of the red.
Hmm.
You know the Jumpmans are supposed to be facing this time because the way when they made this pair is from Korea, so it's like one of the first rung pairs. There are certain pairs that were made in different factories.
Hmm.
So the Jumpman is one way, the other. So the OG steel tins, they all have different like variations of them, but um, this pair is one of the first pairs, and they're still wearable, but they're still 30 years old. So
Oh
who knows how
man.
long I have? So I have to get.
That leather looks amazing, bro. The leather looks amazing. What? What?
Well, I gotta keep a few OGs stashed.
You know, no big deal. 30-year-old sneakers.
Oh, you know. But honestly, other than those few, like I was too stupid to buy the shattered backboards in 2015 because the store I was running at the time, I could have had them for like $80 with my discount, and I was kind of on that. Well, it's not an OG color, so who cares? But I
See,
always
you
regretted it.
get it. You
Yeah, of
get
course.
it.
I'm like, man, nobody gonna want these orange Jordans. And then we had like a line, and then I was like, you know,
What?
yeah,
What?
it was weird, because I'm like, because people act like Jordan ones have always been a thing. You and I both know they haven't always been a thing. Jordan ones used to get less respect than dunks used to get at certain points, but people don't remember that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a
Yeah.
Jordan, but it's not really a
Yeah.
Jordan. It's just like a
Jordan, this is
fourth one or something.
exactly. Yeah, it's a high top one. Looks like it's a high top dunk. Who wants this?
Yeah.
And then I don't know how they did it, but they just kind of like revamped what it means to have a Jordan 1 or Jordan 1s in general. I'm not see and I think that's another thing about me. Like Jordan keeps putting out ones. They keep putting out what I feel are safe sneakers. If Jordan was to bring back some 15s, okay. Now we're really talking, right? Jordan wants to bring back some 15, and most people are like, ew, 15s. Oh, I love that sneaker. It's so classic, right? If Jordan was to bring back, I feel like they just did Bordeaux sevens not too long ago. I love Bordeaux sevens. You know what I'm saying? If they was to bring back some Bordeaux sevens, they was to bring back the Mars 4. I need that sneaker back. The Mars 4.
With the
I need that.
face.
With the
Yeah.
face on the heel. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
need that, right? Um, what else am I thinking? I'm also thinking I love that they brought back the olive nines. I got the olive nines, even
Yeah.
though the olive color wasn't exactly the same. But yeah, I got the olive nines. Um,
They were better
you know,
than the pair from 12, though. The pair from 12 was just brown. It looked like it looked like
paper
that.
bag. Exactly. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Yeah. I
What are
mean,
we doing here?
yeah. It's but I guess to answer your question, Jordan's Aquas, the Shattered Backboards, the Taxi 12, Still Gray 10. Those are all shoes that I would like to have in the apartment because I don't have my
Yes.
pairs here. Um,
I love my taxis.
but just as far as buying stuff, I mean, I've been having a really good year just finding sneakers at the Goodwill. It's been a really good year for sneakers at the Goodwill.
Mm, okay.
And
Wasn't
they
expecting you
have
to
a
say that.
they have a oh man, thrifting is my favorite thing to do.
Okay.
It's really one of the only things I have left where yeah, it's me spending money, but
But
it's not,
right.
because like I showed you that Knicks thing. I found this random Jordan. This was yesterday. I found this random Jordan hoodie, and it's blacked out. I usually don't like blacked out things, but let me show you this tag. It's a tag to take you back here to a much simpler time here. Remember the 20th anniversary. So yeah, once I saw that, and I'm a weirdo, so I can
Yo.
look at the tags and tell when it's from. I'm like, well, this is definitely from 2005.
Yep.
It's got the sorry,
What's on the front of
it's
it?
got,
Is it Jordan or Jumpman?
well, on the back it has Jordan kind of
I know
big.
it. Yep.
It's just a Jumpman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's right here. It's just
Yep.
a blacked out Jumpman,
But
and
eh, but but
now
then but then along the bottom is where it's stitched. It says Jordan.
yeah,
It's embroidered.
and it's on the
Mm-hmm.
back. So
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, um, the Goodwill. Like yesterday, I found though that Knicks thing, and I found some LeBron 11 Independence Days. So the Goodwill
Oh, you be
tax.
finding heat.
Oh yeah, like I found this year. I found those LeBron 11s yesterday. I found some. I mean, I always find Converses at the thrift, but just uh Air Max 97s. I found these 97s at the Goodwill from 2022. They were like $8.99. I found all black Hirachis. Um, it's been a while since I found a Jordan. Usually when I find Jordans, they're either too big or too small.
Or too
And
small.
if it has a Jumpman on it, sometimes the Goodwill will try to make them $40 or $50, which is still
Yeah.
cheap. But it's like, man, you
But
don't even pay.
y'all wildin'.
You know,
Y'all wildin'.
because they're the Goodwill near my job. They have a pair of Air 180s, the ultramarine color of the Air 180. But they're like $70. I'm like, come on, man, I could go online to find a pair of Air Max
I
180s for
still
less than that.
I still have my Air 180s. And that's the sneaker I graduated college in.
Oh, okay, okay.
All
Oh,
black ones, yeah. I graduated college in those Johns.
now I have a pair of these already. I got on release day, but I found these at the Goodwill. They were $25, the Atmos joints. Now these, let me see. I found these Blake Griffins. Like just random stuff.
You got a
Oh,
good ass Goodwill, bro. I'm jealous.
nah,
I'm
it's just
jealous.
it's a couple like nothing for me. Nothing has been better other than when I go to other places. Like thrifting in New York is crazy. Thrifting in
Oh,
Philly is crazy.
bananas.
Um,
Bananas.
when I went out to Nike World Headquarters last year, I went thrifting out there and I found a bunch of crazy stuff. But
Eat.
I found these at a Goodwill outlet. Now I had to get rid of the laces, but I didn't have this color. My wife had these, back when these came out. But I found these at the Goodwill outlet. When they have Goodwill outlets down here,
How much did you pay
they
for
sell
those?
you everything by the pound. They sell it by the pound. So I got these,
You paid like $5 for them Johns, bro.
the whole
I
bag.
know
It was
it.
these. It was some Ultra
I know
Boosts.
it.
Now the other shoes are kind of beat up, but I got them just to get
Hmm.
everything together was like $12. So
See?
these, I tried to put some work into these Ultra Boosts. They're just not gonna ever be white again,
Mm-mm.
but it's all right. I can run in these or whatever.
Yep.
Ah,
I like your thinking.
these 97s. So
Mm.
all three of them were
Mm.
$12 at the Goodwill outlet. So, and since there's nobody on this live right now, because I don't want to blow up the spot, the other leg, Goodwill has a website. It's just like eBay. It's called shopgoodwill.com. It's
Right.
all
I'm writing that
kinds of
down.
stuff. Shop here. I'm gonna just send you a screenshot. I'm gonna send you. I don't know if I can send a link, but it's. Let's see here. So right now, I'm waiting on a pair of sample Converse weapons from last year that never came out. I won them for $25. Um, you know the infrared Air Max or the infrared structure, air structure with the
Yes. Yes.
infrared. So that's another pair that I have in storage. I also have my pair from '07, but they're crumbling. Found a pair on there for $8. Um, what else am I waiting on? And I'm waiting on some Converse weapons. Somebody selling them for. It was them and a pair of white low top platforms that are women's 10.5. I don't know what I'm gonna do with those, but because I can't, since I work for the company, I can't like resell the stuff.
Yeah.
It's against
Yeah.
my contract. But um, yeah,
I'm on the website right now.
yeah, it's stuff on there now. I will tell you, some of the stuff is new, some of it is used, just like eBay, and then there
Hmm.
are some things that are projects, like these black and green Converse weapons I won with those platforms. I know when I get them, I'm gonna have to put some work into
You're
them.
gonna have to put some work into them.
I'm gonna have to Jason Mark and use the soft sole Foot Locker cleaner, but it's fine because I only paid $9.99 for the whole lot. So that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna send you the wins and the DM, but
What?
everybody needs to shopgoodwill.com. Now
I'm
I'm
on the
mad.
website right now, man.
I missed some Tylers. They had some Tylers on there for $14.99. Some Converse, Tyler the Creators, the Giannos, and they had a pair of Coraline Chucks because they had a collab with Coraline last year. We only got them at our store in like women's fives. We didn't get any good sizes in them. Any kind of collab, I'm a Converse
Hmm.
hype beat when it comes to
Hmm.
collabs. I got Willy Wonka Converses and Disney Converses. I'm like Mayor, but with Converses.
But with Converses, yeah,
I've got,
yeah.
yeah. Well, it's just me and you in here. Nobody's watching right now. I have 779 pairs of Converse. just Converses. Now, I've only been working there for almost 5 years. Now, some of them came from there, but it's mainly just been eBay, thrifting, Macari, Poshmark, Depop, Grailed, uh, Etsy.
Bro, do you
All,
know the number you just said?
yeah, I'm like, this is most people's collections, but I have a lot of Converses. Like, I never thought the Chuck, before Converse, the Dunk was the shoe I had the most of because I had about 100, around 150 pairs of Dunks.
Let's talk
But,
about dunks for a second.
oh,
Let's talk
of
about
course,
dunks for a second.
I'm glad that they're regular
Because
shoes again.
because um I I need every pair of fat tongue dunk that I missed out on. I feel that in my soul. Like I need a pair of When Pigs Fly. I need a pair, bro, in my
Don't have them either.
size.
That pink. And see, with you with that pink. See, all right. Let me. Before we get into the Dunk thing, I do have to ask this. Tell you about my Converses. I know you fuck with Hello Kitty heavy, heavy.
Heavy, heavy,
Do
heavy.
you have any of the Hello Kitty Converses?
And I didn't get the Hello Kitty Prestos either.
Those I'm not, because those they're. I still find them at outlets. So
Which ones?
those
The
are,
Prestos?
yeah, the Prestos are around. If
Yeah.
you know how to you. I know that you know how to shop.
Mhm.
So I know that if you really wanted them, you would have them. I have them.
Yeah.
I just what sucks is I found them at a clearance store, which was great, but I didn't get the whole box. And when it's a collab, I'll be wanting that box.
The box, the is I'm looking at it now. The pink with these Jones is kind of fly.
Yeah, so I only
These Jones is
got the
kind of
half box.
fly.
The same thing happened with the Nina Chanel threes. Um,
Yo, you
she,
posted those the other day. Them Jones is crazy.
yeah, you especially they probably cheaper your size because they
Them
nothing is
Jones
high
is
like it was.
crazy. Those Nina Chanel threes is crazy, bro.
Even though her and I aren't together, we're still friends. So
It's good.
she found them for me. She was for work. She was out in Denver, and she found them. She was like, "Did you ever get those Nina Chanel threes?" And I'm like, "No."
No,
And she was like, "Well, they got a bunch of men's sizes here at this outlet."
that's
The only thing that sucked was
low.
I don't have her on my Swoosh account anymore, so I couldn't get my Nike discount at that store because she wasn't on there anymore. But they were still cheap. I just didn't get the whole box. I'll be wanting the whole
You
box.
be wanting the whole
Collab.
box, yeah,
If it's
yeah.
a regular shoe, I could just, especially if it's a Converse. People are traveling all the time. I get Converse boxes from work all the time. Like there, I'm surprised there's not one behind me right
I'm
right
on it.
now.
I'm
But
on this Shop Goodwill site. I'm just
yeah,
like,
I'm
yo,
telling you,
what?
it's stuff on there since so many people don't know about it. Now it's stuff that if it's that shit, people are still gonna be like it was a pair of KDs, the On Pearl KDs, and they just retroed them, but this guy had an original pair, and for days they were just $12.99. But since it's the last day, it's like eBay where it's like now they $37, but that's still not nothing. You know what
Ooh,
I'm saying?
$37.
Hey, but if I could get it for $9.99 with the box,
I
I'm gonna
feel
try to
you.
do that because
Of
I've got a
course.
lot of stuff off of there. But
I'm
Converse
lowballing
just
niggas
makes
all the time. All the time. What?
yeah, but
Why
but
not?
Converse makes me excited because when I can find a random collab or a shoe I wanted, it still gives me that feeling that we used to get when we used to buy Jordans and Air Maxes,
Hmm.
whatnot. It
Hmm.
still keeps the shoe game pure for me because again, with the Jordans, it's mainly just either well, since I can't fit all my shoes in this apartment, I need to get a pair. I have the money, I'll get a pair, or my pair is older anyway, so I really should get a pair. So it's just replacement. It's not excitement,
Replace it.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's not that same like feeling. I get it.
now there are some pairs I have to admit that even if I was in a normal situation where I was in a house and I had room for everything, some of these I still would get over because it's just certain shoes and people think it's crazy, but I'm like, man, the way I love X this shoe right here, I don't care how many times it comes out, I'm gonna get it every time, at least one.
Every time.
You know,
Every time.
Black Infrared Six is number one on the list.
What would be my always pop? I'm gonna go with mm, dang, I just got so many flying through my head. I'm gonna always get I'm gonna like if they came out with another pair, I would be the first person in line. Patent leather ones, bread patent leather ones.
Oh, okay.
Yo,
Yeah,
man.
that's a you. I can see you wearing that with that CNN hoodie, the Supreme Joy. Remember we was messaging about that years ago. That was like 2018, I want to say, because I was like, man, it's not gonna be nobody around me that's gonna get it. You gonna get it? You like, heck yeah, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
um,
yeah.
I always think of the black.
Bread patent leather ones. Ooh. I know you
I
think of
always
the
think
black and gold pair. My son has the black and gold pair,
of,
of course.
with you for whatever reason. I think it's because I reposted you with them years ago. I always think of that black and red 14 with you too. That's like a you. I think of Risa. I think of you with that shoe. I think of that.
Wow, that's so crazy. I love those too.
I
I
know.
love those. And the suede, I want to talk about the suede on those black and red 14s for a second because they don't put that type of suede on sneakers anymore. It's
Nah.
rough. It's a little bit long. I know that that's not like an appropriate articulation to describe it, but like that type of suede, like they just don't use it anymore. I love that suede, man. I love that suede. I don't know if I ever told you this, and maybe I did share this the last time we talked, but I had an extensive bread collection 1 through 14, and I sold that entire collection to relocate me and my sons from New York down to this area.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, okay. I remember you letting them go. So I feel like we were communicating during that time, and I'm about to be like, you sure you want to? He's like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. I
but
had to. I had to. That was part of my growing up story. I did. I sold my bread collection 1 through 14, man,
but see what's crazy is, and I'm gonna
to
try.
one buyer.
Well, yeah, and I remember some of that, you know,
Mhm.
going on. But the good thing about it though now is because for one, you know how to shop, and two, we can literally buy anything from any era of sneakers. We can go back to our parents' youth, our youth, today. Kids
Today.
wearing New
Yep.
Balances and Asics and baggy jeans. It's like my son thought he was original. I'm like, son, you just like me from
You
1998. Like you ain't doing nothing.
look just like me in the 90s. Like what, bruh?
Yeah, like I'm going
What?
on the fifth period or something. Shaker Heights High School. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Not fifth
But
period. Yeah,
yeah,
man. Yeah. Yeah.
but
That's real.
yeah, you know, anything that's you're like a flashy, elegant sneaker person. You know, like Melody Shiny Jordans, Laylee May Jordans. That's you. Tiana Taylor. That's you. Fancy, but not too
Good.
girly. But
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
and I think it's the Olympic 7 with you too. I think of you with the Olympic 7 too. You know what I'm saying? Like
My
you
son,
with
when
your
I
little
tell you
feet.
my son dogged them, bruh. I
Uh,
let him wear them Johns, and by day three, he had the freaking sole flopping off of them. I was like, oh God.
uh,
What have I done? Yeah, man. I appreciate the time that we've come up in. I'm honestly, I'm enjoying getting older. I am. Some people are just like, oh, I want to be young forever, or I'm just like this super old fart. I don't feel like I'm super old, but I do enjoy all of the history, right, that
mm,
I've been able to accumulate in such a relatively short time. Like, I love it. I love that I can reference the 80s, the 90s, right? The early 2000s. The early 2000s, I was graduating from college. Like, that was a
mm,
time,
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
now I'm like, oh, I got my own money. I can buy my own stuff. Everything that dropped in '06, '07, bro, I had all of that, bro. I grabbed all of that.
Yeah, and it was easy to grab.
Easy. Easy. One of my favorite cop stories was when it was the first time they retro Concord 11s, and they did it.
Mm,
It was a Christmas release, and I remember because I was sitting in my apartment chilling by myself. This is long before I had kids, and, and I was just chilling, and I was just like, am I gonna go get them? And I was like, I need them. I'm gonna go get them. I get my little Honda Civic, drive down to the mall. And it was like a, 12 o'clock release. So people are lined up and it's like 11:30, 11:45. Yo, I got online. That was the last time I ever got online for a sneaker. I got online and I was able to grab my size. I was so elated. That feeling like if I could bottle it and just sell it to somebody, that feeling of I got it.
Yeah,
Yes. Now
yeah.
I just be like, eh,
I got him.
okay. I got him. Exactly. Who cares? No one cares but me. No one. No one cares but me. It's
Or
okay.
you'll get it. You'll be like, all right, I got it. So now what?
Now what? Yeah.
Let me check these auctions, see if I won them too. Damn, I'm over budget. I hope I don't win. Damn, I won them too.
Well,
that's
well,
that's how it's been for me, you know. But it's that shop Goodwill, man. It's like a
I'm on
hidden
it,
gem.
man. I'm looking at it, man. I just found some Nike pink pig. It's not in my size, but they only $52, man. I'm just like, wow, some heat up here. And now this is another aspect of married life that I really enjoy. So my husband, my husband's he's older than me. I'm not trying to shade him, but he is. He's got me by like 18 years. And he said- and I remember when I first met my husband, and he's a fly dude, don't get me wrong, but when I first met him, he was wearing Team Jordans. And I almost didn't give him a chance because he was wearing Team Jordans. I was like, I was like, Risa, it's time to grow up. Okay. You can't judge a guy by the fact that he has on Team Jordans. Okay. He could be the love of your life and you're overlooking him because he's wearing Team Jordans. So I was like, you know what, Risa, give him a chance. And with some time, maybe you can reel him into the retro Jordan life. Now my husband's sneaker collection takes up the closet here and at his house. Yes, I did.
Hey,
he
I
wore he wore sale fives today. The sale and black fives. Yep, he wore sale fives today.
I did the same thing with my wife, where
Hmm.
she was just you know from the hood, and she would just wear white Air Force Ones, and wheat Timberlands, and it's fine. But like I got her first pair of Jordans, but it's kind of like it came back to me because we were talking the other day, and I'm like, some of my greatest sneaker moments, you either made them happen, or you either made them happen, or you were there when they happened for me, but mainly made
Oh.
them happen. Because, and I'm not trying to put, yeah, I'm not trying to put her out there, but like I told you, we're still friendly. We just aren't going
Yeah.
to be together, still co-parenting. But like,
Look at my face.
yeah, nah, it's real. Cause, she'd be mad if she heard me say this, but she's not on here, so it's fine. Um, I've only gotten 3 releases this year. I got those other Dornbecker sixes with the pink and the light blue.
Hmm.
Just because
Hmm.
it's a six, you know how I feel about sixes. It's the one Jordan where no matter
Hmm.
how it's colored, huh? But she kind of made the UNC reimagines happen for me, and the Black Toe reimagines, where I'm like, look, I'll pay you back or whatever. And she's like, nah, it's cool. Just go ahead. You know what I'm saying? So she ain't had to do that. We're not going to be together. It's been other things she's done, not sneaker related to, that I'll tell you about offline. But we're just not, she's different than she was um as a person. She's kind of in a different place where I'm not really conducive to the new her. And I understand that and I accept it. So it's good. It's good. But it just made me think of
Okay.
her. We were talking about how you did that. Because, I mean, at one point, she still got a lot of sneakers. She got rid of a lot of her sneakers that was fluff. Some stuff I'm even like, you sure you those? Like, all right, whatever. Enjoy the sneakers. I'm just glad you enjoy the sneakers. So, fine. But I did a similar thing and it felt good. But she got up to about 600 pairs herself. She's probably still around maybe 300. Yeah, she has stuff that I don't even have. Like she had the satin shatter backboards. I'm like, so you just gonna get the shatter backboards? Like This is back when they were still like 800, 1,000. Since they about to come out again, they like a regular shoe now. But yeah, she has some stuff I didn't even have. Where I'm like, all right, Beyonce, that's what we doing. All right, okay. But I tell people used to be like, because I was posting her, we was doing the show, we was doing all that
Mhm.
sneaker stuff. But it's kind of like dudes would be like, man, I wish my girl was in the kicks like that. And I'm like, it's
Do
cool,
you?
but I don't really think you know what you get into. Because I just tell one of my dudes that I'm like, it's good most of the time, but there'll be a time where you hit and she doesn't, and she might have wanted to shoe more than you. It's awkward in the house for a couple hours behind that. Or she'll win and you don't, and then you got to watch her open the shoe, look at it. You like, damn, I want the motherfuckers. They only uh, they only might be worth $150 in her size, but in my size they $800.
Yeah.
That happens all
Yeah.
the time with LeBrons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Where I've seen her
Mhm.
get LeBrons that I either needed to replace for she might get them for $100, $80 or something, and I'm like, damn, in my size they 400.
Like
Because I wear a hoop
what the
size.
hell?
You know,
Yeah, because
because with Kobe's and LeBron's, anything after 11, it gets weird.
yeah, it gets a little
Yeah,
it's a little shifty.
and then I do realize, it's and excuse my language. I don't mean to cuss or
It's okay.
whatever, but you
Yeah.
know, it's niggas in the league that wear 12. You wear 12, so you compete with those dudes. You know what I'm saying? And they're wearing them, the hoop in them. You're just trying to get them to wear them. They got the money. You might not have the money, so
There you go.
yeah, wearing a
There you
12
go. Yeah.
and performance stuff is not always fun, but
It isn't.
you know,
I'm
but
sure it isn't. I'm still on this Goodwill site, bro. I'm just looking at what's up here, man. Like
yeah.
what?
But let's talk
What?
about dunks. I kind of veered off of that, but you need all of the SBs you missed.
I
Now
do, man.
I have
I
to ask you,
do bad, bro.
and I don't want to, because Cleveland, it's a sneaker place now, but it took a long time for it. New York's always been sneakers. I ain't got to tell
Hmm.
you. Y'all
Yeah.
have played legendary shit. So I would be on Nike Talk, and I would see people from New York, and they would be posting, SBs and just different releases, Espo Air Force Twos and just all kinds of stuff. I'm like, man, we ain't getting on
Air
shit like
Force twos. Ooh.
that. Yeah, like I need a Souls and Things who was in here earlier. He had sent me a pair some years back, an original pair of the 76ers Air Force Twos Charles Barkley wore from 1987, because I was gonna get a pair from 2002
Yeah.
because I had sold my pair from 2002 to one of my friends. I was telling you I sold a bunch of my shoes.
Mhm.
We moved down here. I sold my friend one of them because they were really too small. I just got them because at the time that was the only size I could get. They were like a size too small. They were like a shit.
11.
Nah, this was back before that. These were like a 10 and a half or a 10. I
Way
because
too
I
small.
yeah, like in the early 2000s, I could kind of play around with my feet,
Hmm.
and I could go down with an Air Force One or Air Force Twos,
You could
like
take and you could take the inner
take the
sole out.
sole out. Yeah, you already know. We old
Yeah.
school with this. But
Yeah.
since I've gotten older, I've kind of gone from a 10 and a half, 11 to more of an 11 and a half, 12, unless it's a chucker.
So I'm gonna be honest with you, right? Because I noticed the same thing over the years, and I am of the belief that they started cutting shoes smaller,
Say it.
right? Because
Yes.
because because I used to be a solid 4.5,
Uh
5, and now I'm a
huh.
5.5, sometimes even a 6 in
Mm-hmm.
sneakers. And I'm like, I was never a 6. I've always been a 5 or a 5.5. So it's not just you. I think they really honestly are cutting sneakers smaller.
Because I still have my 94 Chicago's from eighth grade. They're a 10
Right.
and a half. They fit like a Jordan 1 and a 12 now. Like
See?
I can still wear them,
See?
and they're a 10 and a
You can
half.
still put them
So
on. Yeah. And they're not stretched out. They're not all weird. No, like I get it. I get it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've also said that. Boy, we're even more similar than I realized with stuff, because I've been saying, I'm like, man, they have to make the shoes smaller. Like, because what's weird is I know people are down on mids. I'll still wear mids if I like the colorway. I don't care. I know the quality isn't gonna be as good as a high or some lows. Yeah, I know. I know. I'll wear a mid. I got mids in this apartment. They
I
don't come
know
out a
you
lot.
do.
I've
I
probably got about.
can't, I just
I'll
can't bring
do a
myself to
mid.
do it.
But what's
I
crazy
can't, man.
about it
I
is
can't.
with a mid, I could do a 10 and a half or an 11. Now I know some of that is I've lost weight,
Okay.
but with OG highs, it has to be an 11. It can't be anything smaller than 11. I can't fit it.
Because they're
So
cut more narrow.
yeah,
Because you know what I'm saying? The OG,
yeah.
they're cut more narrow. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
so
you
we
got. So wait, did you get? You said you got the UNC reimagines.
hmm
I don't know. I've been, every time I see them, I'm like, should I grab? My son really wanted them. I was like, I am not buying these for you.
look. Do you want to? Because again, the pictures, especially on Nike, the pictures aren't really doing them justice. Do you want to see them? All right, I'm gonna go grab them. I'll be right back.
Okay, awesome.
Because people are like, are they really that yellow? Are they really? And I'm like, they're not as bad as they make them. Like on Nike, they almost look great. Like they don't even look right. But uh,
Love the box.
yeah,
I love the
so
box.
they're really nice. They're made well. This is my sneaker of the year so far. Now
So clean.
now part of it, and this is after me. I've worn these at least twice, maybe three times. Um,
Okay.
I didn't get these in 2015 because the store, the next I was running, they didn't give them to me, so I wasn't able to get them. So I told you she made it happen. She had got it early access, so I just got it. But I
Joints is
definitely think
crazy.
that you should. I definitely think that you should
That's a
get these.
good investment. It's a good investment.
You
Yeah.
know, because the leather is good leather. I mean, it's got a little bit of the aged,
Mm.
as you see on here, but
Mm.
you know, to me, these are better than the black toes.
I think
The black toes have a
I
better,
think I got the black toes.
yeah. Because I mean, to me, the best thing about the black toes is the box.
Yeah, I
It's,
got it. Yep,
it's the best
it
thing
is.
about it. But
And then
these,
and the newspaper wrapping.
see, I didn't get that. See, mine is just regular. I didn't get the newspaper.
Oh, I got the newspaper.
Must be nice. They gave me this little thing here, this little
Okay, see,
Michael
I don't have,
Jordan.
yeah, I don't have that. I don't have that on the inside of my box top, but I
But
definitely got the
it differs.
newspaper wrapping.
It differs sometimes between GS and
Hmm.
men's.
Little,
But
little, little differences that make a difference.
yeah,
Yeah, man, I think it, and also I think like as I've gotten older, I prefer footwear that doesn't rub. I'm just gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Like fours or pinky toe killers. Like, outside of really getting the Mars fours, would I even really wear them like that? No, because they're not that comfortable anymore. You will never see me in a pair of Bo Jacksons. Like, those are pinky toe killers as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm at that age where I would prefer to be comfortable over stylish. When I was in my 20s, I didn't care about comfort. I'm rocking these because these Johns is hot.
did you say
Now I'm 42. I'm
thoughts?
like, are they? Yeah.
Having a Philly that got you,
I
huh?
Like, yo, I have multiple pairs of New Balance.
What? Oh man,
Multiple, multiple. I even know like the different style numbers, like a 1906R, a 573, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, oh, we don't wear New Balance back home, but when in Rome, do as the Romans do.
I got one pair of 1906 Rs, and that's because I was um I was selling some stuff to Plato's Closet that I was selling it for someone. It wasn't my stuff. I was selling it.
Okay.
They were like, they kind of owed me, and they're like, whatever you get, you keep or whatever. And they had some 1906 Rs that were colorful there. So I just used them as a part of my store credit, and they gave me the buddies. So it's the only newer, here, I'll show. They're the only newer pair of New Balances I have. All of my New Balances are old, like from the early days of Instagram or before. This is the only one I have. So,
Ooh, those are
and
crazy.
they only had these priced at $40. But since I didn't come out of my pocket for them, because I looked them up and I called my
$40.
son and I was like, son, do you think I should do this? And he was like, yeah, I mean, they're colorful. I know you got something to match them. I'm like, yeah, I just don't want to seem like I'm trying to ride the wave. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, when I'm thinking New Balance, I'm thinking of 1500s, 1300s, 574s, 576s, 998s, stuff from back when we was,
Dad
some things
shoes,
said 998s.
you
Yeah,
know, like, but now it's like, ooh, those are comfy.
yeah. They only had a price at $40. I'm like, yeah, give me those. Give me those
Give me
as part
those.
of my credit.
run them, please. I am thoroughly on this Goodwill site, and I'm looking at only Nikes, and I mean, only Dunks, and there's Dunks up here like brand
Yeah,
new for
it's. I mean,
for
again,
$14. Like what?
in your size, I'm telling
No,
you.
not in my
Do you
size.
ever go
Oh,
on Macari and Poshmark and stuff like that?
yeah, I'll be on Macari. I'll be on
Okay,
Poshmark.
and
Yeah,
Grailed, Depop, all of that.
go all of that,
Okay, so
all
yeah,
of that.
would you be at that 5'5" wide? I mean, I knew that you had a small foot. As long as we've known each other, I probably asked you your size years ago, and I just didn't remember. But you know, I might hit you with the deal like, hey, I'm here and whatever. Cause like I saw some, you might not have worn them. I saw some sevens yesterday at the one of the Goodwills out here. They were like, you remember when they had the GG releases when they make like the
Yes.
extended? So they were like that. They were like black and pink sevens. They were like a 5 wide. They were $25, but they were in really good shape to be from like 2015 or 16. So again, I know you're married, and I know you're practical. Should I be sending you these things?
Listen, don't ever hesitate. Okay,
All right, because
don't ever,
I don't
don't
I
ever
don't want my
hesitate.
husband to be mad like who's this nigga sending
Nah,
what's going
nah,
on?
nah,
You
nah.
know,
It's not even touching the hem of that type of dynamic, which is another reason why I'm so
not
happy.
even touching the him. I like that.
Not
I
even
like
touching
that.
the hem of that type of dynamic.
I
Okay.
mean, I mean,
Yo, they got ciders on this website for $30, bro.
yeah, I'm telling
What?
you, like
They just
I
not my
the
size.
thing I'm
Like what?
looking for right now on there because I missed the Coraline Chucks, I missed the Tyler the Creator Giannos. They have a pair of the Dwight Howard Adidas because I used to call him Superman when he had won the dunk contest. So
I remember that.
there was some Adidas on
His
there.
big goofy self. He's so goofy.
Yeah, but I'm like, man, I
Dwight
haven't seen
Howard
these
is
in years.
he's so goofy. Oh God. I just don't I have never been a Dwight Howard fan because like I don't like his personality. Like I get that he's like amazing on the court, but I could never get past his goofy demeanor. Like you're just so big and goofy.
Yeah, like
It's like a clown.
Gentle Giant. But he's like a second. I mean, Shaq would get mad if he said this, but he's kind of
He
similar to
is.
Shaq, big and
He
goofy,
is.
but in a
Yeah.
different way. He's
But in
still,
a different way.
yeah,
Like I feel like just so childish. You know what I'm saying?
nah,
Like so childish. But anyway, I digress.
yeah. But what's more than any shoe? What's that one shoe? You we've known each other and talked sneakers for over a decade now.
Over a decade.
What's the holy grail? What's that one shoe that you just haven't been able to touch? Where you like, God, I just need these bitches. What? Where? What's that shoe for you? It's a lot. I mean, you're from the city. Y'all had Dr. J's. You got all of Harlem, Fulton, all these places. You know, what's
Oh man,
that
that's a
shoe?
good
Is it a
question.
Dunk? Is it a
Well,
Jordan?
I mean, my first pair of Jordans were Columbia 11s, and that was my grail for years. And then I got them last year, and
Yeah.
I've worn them. And the crazy part is I've worn them twice,
Hey, mine are right here. I've only worn them once.
right? Like like my whole life. I've been fiending for these sneakers because that was my first Jordan ever. I think I had them when they first came out. What was that? 98,
6.
96.
Mm,
Okay. I had them in 96. And it was just like, oh, I can't wait till they retro it. I love this sneaker. It's my grail. I fiend for it. I love it. And then I got it, and now it's just like sitting in my closet.
so
So,
pretty. I don't even want to wear it. Like, I think I wore it on her birthday because it was the first hot day here, and I had on the the Carolina jersey or whatever. I went and
mhm,
gave her a card or whatever, and it was like, he, happy birthday or whatever. And I had him on. She gave me a compliment. I was like, oh, thank you, thanks. But I was just, it was probably the freshest I've been this year was when I wore them, you know.
wore those Columbia 11s, and
Yeah,
that's so that would have been my answer. I think that now a sneaker that I'll just I'll just always fiend for, like, if I could get the opportunity to get them on my, add them to my collection again, would probably be, this is a real, I'm thinking back to sneakers that I've had, and this is like a real like head scratcher for me. It's somewhere between, I'm gonna rattle off a couple of pairs. Sunset Fives, because
Ooh.
where are you ever gonna see those again?
Yeah, I never. That was one of the few
I
women.
had those, bro.
I never got those. I always wanted them.
Sunset Fives. I think I told you this before. I passed on these and I kicked myself in the ass the first time I saw somebody else wear them. Um, I think they were called like Citrus Sevens. They were black with the orange stitching,
Oh yeah, yeah. They just came back with those a few years ago.
and I passed on them. Like, what the hell was I thinking? So, Sunset Fives, Citrus Sevens,
You can probably get a pair of them
and
for $50, $60 now.
yeah, right.
Uh,
I just
uh,
haven't,
okay.
I'll be busy, bro. I'll be busy. But also, I'm thinking, oh, I really would love a bread pair. I would love a white and navy pair of 15s.
Okay. You could also probably find those for cheap because that was the only other pair other than the black and reds that they retroed.
Yo, man, I
2017.
just,
I
I
mean,
would
now that I
just
know your
love.
size, I'm gonna be sending you stuff. I'm gonna be like,
See
this
this? See
silver.
this? See this? See
I
this?
can't even
See
say
this?
yo because I know you had a different last name. I'm used to your first last name,
So,
so you know.
no, I kept my first last name. I'm De Silva King now. De Silva King. My husband's name is King.
Okay,
So I'm Mrs. King.
got you, got you. Well, since I know your size now, I'm gonna be sending you some stuff. Hey, I just saw these. Maybe you want to do it, maybe not. You know.
Listen, because I mean, I'm also in this space where, like, I don't go out shopping like I used to when I was younger, right? Like, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a business owner. Sometimes I work from home, sometimes I'm working in the office. The only time like I really go out is like on a Saturday and Sunday, and even then like Saturdays and Sundays is like family time. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have that space to just go and explore like I used to and go find mom and pop shops if they even exist around here anymore. So yeah, man, I would love that. Like, hey, Risa, I saw this. I thought of you. I'd be like, oh my God, I love the one with the manita. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And my husband, my husband he's a sneakerhead, but because I've kind of made him into a sneakerhead. So here's the other piece, right? Here's the other piece. So my husband and I, we run this organization together. My husband also has a retail store.
Hmm.
So yes, my husband has a clothing store. He sells like um Amiri, Hellstar, um what is it? Godspeed, all these
Those are all
new brands I don't know anything
expensive
about.
top tier brands
Oh,
there.
Kasubi, he sells Kasubi
Okay.
jeans in his store too. What else do you sell in there, babes? Huh? Oh, now he's starting to get into selling Asics at the store.
Oh,
So, yeah. So my husband has a clothing store, right? And it's like the go-to store in Chester. That's where we're based out of. Two doors down from my husband's clothing store is a DTLR.
hmm. Wow, that's
I
interesting.
don't, so like, I'm sharing this because the hype that I used to feel around grabbing, I don't really have anymore because I can get any release I want. Like, when you know what I'm saying, like, we have such a good relationship with the managers and the workers at DCLR. Like, when they have something new, they'll call my husband or they'll tell him, like, yo, come see what we have new. Then they'll tell him, ask your wife if she wants this. Then they'll put my size aside, and then my husband will call me. He'd be like, hey, they got the new blah blah blah, do you want them? They got them in your size, you can go grab. So that excitement of, like, I can't get something, it doesn't exist for me anymore. I can get
So
whatever I want now.
okay, so I have to ask you this then. So being a native New Yorker who now
I
is in
need it
the
when
area, I know that they got Pusha T spot. Cream is there. Of course, Lapstone and Hammer is
Yep.
there. Um,
Love Lapstone and Hammer.
have, have you? I know you. I know you busy. I know you wear a lot of hats. Have you really thrifted? Like, have you been to like Buffalo Exchange or any place like that? And I know they have one in Center City.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? So, um, I just figured, I'd ask if you've done any of that because I know you've only been there for a little while, but you've still been there a
Yeah,
while.
I've been, yeah, I mean, like, I've been living in my house since 2019.
Even
I don't,
longer. Yeah.
yeah, even, yeah, like, I don't know, man. I think I got older and I just started touching money in a different way. So now I'd be like, is this an investment? Is it not an investment? Right now I'm getting my kitchen remodeled. I just got new floors put down in the dining room and the living room. So I think about my money in a different way than when I did when I was, you know what I'm saying? When I was like an avid sneaker collector. And my husband, I can place a lot of blame on my husband for that. Because when I met him, I was still grabbing. And I've slowed down a lot because my husband's like, yo, you got to start planning for the future, my nigga. Like, you going to be older way longer than you going to be younger. Like, where's the she gooch? Like, you got to start planning for the future. You got to start putting money aside. You got to start doing different things with your money. So because of that, I don't even go looking for stuff. I'm like, I'm bored. I'm washed, bro. I don't even go looking for stuff. Now,
Now,
sometimes the spirit will move me and I'll see somebody, I'll see something on Instagram that'll spark a curiosity for me and I'll go down into a rabbit hole and I'll be like, yo, I gotta get this shoe. Like the Air Rifts, when they came out with the pink ballerina, I said, oh my gosh, I love that sneaker. I love it. And I love Air Rifts. And that's gonna look so cute on my foot. So I grabbed the pink, right? Grab the red. I'm gonna grab the black. But so like I say like to say, like, I don't be in the streets like that no more, man. I don't.
no, I
I'm
feel
washed, bro.
I'm more excited to find stuff thrifting or on our website here that we've just
Mm-hmm.
on this thing. I'm more fun. I have more fun doing that than you know. It's been a long time since I got up, got in my car, drove to the mall, and bought a sneaker. Because it's kind of the same thing where it's like, well, if I work for Nike, I could just wait it out and it'll be on sale and or with my discounts. Do I really need it right
Hmm.
now? They could restock it, especially
There
if it's
you
hot
go.
like that.
There you
So
go.
I say all that to say, because a lot of people have misconception of, oh, well, you got all these shoes, you spent a lot of money, and I'm like, no, and you've had a lot of sneakers. You've done a lot with sneakers as well. So, it's kind of like explaining to people that since I have a lot of sneakers, they don't have the same value to me that they would have to you. And
There
people
you
try to
go.
take it like I'm being, and I'm like, nah,
Arrogant.
just
Nah, it's
you
just
know,
I've been there,
like,
done that.
and I'm
I'm
to a point
cool.
where since because I've also had to with that people be like, I told you earlier, people kind of said, oh, well, people don't rock with your content the same because you just be wearing Converses now. But I'm like, all right, but like I was telling you, they excite me, in a way that Jordans and Air Maxes that I've been had 5 or 6 times don't. But it's still that excitement, like he was talking about. You would bottle it and sell it to somebody. I still get that for certain things. Like the Converse weapon has had me in a chokehold for like 2 years.
Hmm. Hmm.
So like I'm, it's just it's my favorite Converse to wear.
Hmm.
And when
Hmm.
you work for a brand as opposed to just working in a shoe store, it's a different kind of commitment, and you got to really be behind it. A
You
lot of
know,
people.
but Chris, and not to blow smoke, but like we're living in a time where authenticity is key, bro. So, people who are giving you feedback saying, well, people don't rock with your content because you wear Converse. But my guy, there are hundreds, thousands of people who do wear Converse.
Yeah,
Do you see what I'm saying? And those people are your crowd. That's it. It's like contorting yourself to make yourself attractive to others is not the key. The best way to go is to be yourself and love what you love and rock what you love, man. That's it. It isn't. the right people will find you. You keep doing these sneaker combos because you had started it before, and then you took a pause on it. So I'm hoping that this episode is the beginning of you really getting back into it. Because, like, bro, like, you should have a YouTube channel, right? You should be posting these convos on YouTube. You
Oh,
should get podcast equipment. You should do all of that and talk about Converse. Why
yeah,
not?
nah, I post all of these on there. My YouTube isn't popping like it was. Like when I was with Hibbit, the shoes would come in shipment like a month early, so I'd have the reviews without having to buy the shoe.
Yeah.
And my page it kind of turns into that. But when I stopped doing that, it kind of shifted. So it's just people just want Jordans, but it's cool. I'm with you on the authenticity thing, but we wear them
Yeah,
for different
authentic.
reasons.
See, and that again is what sets you apart. I want to also highlight for you, right, that like you and I are part of an age demographic that, most of us, we have children. Um, we are in our second career. I'm in my second career. You're kind of like in your second career, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yo, niggas got access to money that we didn't have when we was in our late teens, early 20s.
Right.
And so I'm bringing these facts up because as you continue to do these sneaker chats and you talk about the things that interest you, you're gonna attract people that are on the same level as you. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're not gonna be like I'm not trying to be attractive to a 20 something boy. Like, what? You're a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a child. It doesn't matter how young I look, you're a child. There's nothing about me that I hope that is attractive to a 20 something year old child. Because you a child. You don't know anything. You don't know any better. You still wet behind the ears, so to speak, right? So I say let's just say that, like, yo, man, I think that it's really important. And I know that it's a whole generation of us. It's a whole
Yeah.
generation of us. We I do believe that we need a central location, right? All of us early 40, even late 40, early 50-year-old sneakerheads, we need a central location to talk sneakers, to talk politics, to talk fashion, to talk parenting, you know what I'm saying? To talk home ownership and property management and all of these right things that come along with being at this age. Yo, we need that, and you can provide that to us.
Hmm.
You can provide that to us, Chris. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we go way, way back. My 10-year-old son, I've known you longer than my oldest son has been alive.
Yeah.
Like, many
Yeah.
years before I had my first son. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Now you're right. You're right. That's yeah. Whew. Uh,
You can provide that for us, man. So I'm just putting that out there. Like, yo, you have to keep doing this. Don't let it die, and don't let anybody else's perception of what is or isn't cool influence what you do. It's gonna be your authenticity. That's the key. That's the ticket, man. Be you. Love what you love. Post what you like. Whenever you post, I don't skip your Converse posts whenever they come up on my timeline. I'll be
yeah. Nah, I give it to you.
like,
That 145, it be there. Like it's always
like,
special. It's
because
always
because
special
it's
when
it's authentic to you. It's who you are. It's a part of your fabric. Just like when you told me when you think of me, you think of black and red 14s, right? That was one of my most favorite cops. I can still remember the box was a silver box, right? Like, I
yeah.
remember grabbing that sneaker and being like, "Ooh, I'm gonna rock the shit out of these," and I did, right? And so that's what you associate with me, yo. I associate Converse with you, and yo, you always pop out with the crazy fly Jordans. I've never seen like a snooze pair of Jordans on any of your posts. Anytime you put on a pair of Jordans, it's like, oh, that's that shit. Oh, yep, Chris got that shit. The Nina Chanel threes, you wore those the other day. I'm still thinking about them, Johns. I'm like, yo, they were not cool to me until I saw Chris post them. There's a whole slew of people. It's a whole gang of people out here that need you and need your content, man.
Wow. That really means a lot, Risa. I can't tell you how much that
I'm
means.
dead
So
ass. Yeah, you
yeah.
know I'm dead ass. I'm dead ass. Like,
Hey, you were the first person I ever heard say that ever
dead ass.
years ago. Everybody says it now. And I'm like, you're from down here. You're from Carolina. What the fuck you mean, dead ass?
Dead ass.
You you were the first person I feel like I ever heard say that years ago.
I'm dead ass. I'm
Before it
dead
was a
ass, bro. I'm
meme.
dead ass, D.
Oh
Dead
man.
ass, son.
Well, look,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean every word of that. Not trying to blow smoke or
no.
nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean every word of that, man. You got to be authentic and true to yourself, man.
Look, let me ask you this before I forget. All right, you're you back. You posted like the old pictures of you when you was younger, when you was like copping kicks when you was younger. You know. So if we go back in time, you get in the DeLorean with Doc and Marty. You go back to 1999. Where are you going? Which store are you going to? And what are you buying? We'll say fall '99.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm 16. I'm 16. So,
You 80,
mm,
82 or 83.
83. So I was 16 in
Yeah,
99.
yeah.
Okay. All right. I see myself. It's summertime. I'm a lifeguard. I'm the only black female lifeguard in the city.
Wow.
And I'm making $10 an hour without having to pay taxes.
Hey, that was a lot for 1999. Are you 16?
40, 40 hours a week plus overtime at time and a half.
It's niggas that don't make that money now. Especially down here in
I
North
was
Carolina.
balling. I was
Woo!
balling. Okay. So I'm 16. I'm a lifeguard. Um, and I'm wearing, so where am I going? First things first, I'm going to VIM on 125th Street. Let's be clear. That's where I'm going. I'm going to VIM on 125th. And that summer, there was a pair of Prestos that I wore out, bro. I wore them out. These Johns was orange and gray. They was like orange, gray, and like a little bit of red in them. I
Almost
wore
like
these
they
Prestos.
was on fire.
Yes.
I had those. Had
Yes.
those.
Bro, I wore those. I had some little dark blue cutoff shorts, jeans, and a bright orange sleeveless shirt. Bro. Yo, you couldn't tell me. My bamboo earrings? You when I tell you you couldn't tell me nothing. There was nothing you could say to me. Okay, like what, nigga? I bought my entire outfit. My mother didn't buy any of this for me. I remember them Johns. I can see them in my mind's eye. And you're right, they look like flames. They were orange, bro. Orange and gray. I loved those Prestos, man. I love them. I wore them Johns out that summer.
Yeah. I still have them, but they're so old. Now let me tell you this.
They're
We
crumbling.
moved when we moved down here, there were some shoes that made it, but they didn't make it.
Got it.
So my Mars fours, they made it down here, but the wings came off. My military
Mhm.
blue fours, the wings came off.
I
And
copped those
those,
last year.
yeah. So I never, because I never got the pair from 2012 because my pair from '06 was still good at that point.
Was still good.
But
Yeah.
those Prestos, they haven't crumbled, but the cages and all the plastic, the pee on the tongue, all of that broke. It's all broke from the move. Because
Mm.
whatever the truck that they must have moved the stuff in, because it was hot, a lot of that stuff it didn't take.
Didn't make it.
So they
Didn't make
they
it.
stole about 10 pairs of my shoes, and then there were about maybe 20 pairs that just didn't make it. They crumbled on the way or whatever. Now what's interesting is those Mars and those militaries, the wings came off. My '99 cement fours, they were already crumbling when we were still living in Cleveland, but they made it down there with the wings. So how can this older pair make it with the wings from 1999, but the pairs from '06 didn't? That's quality.
Because the material, yo,
Yeah,
that's quality.
that's
That's
quality.
quality, man. The materials that were being, yo, I told you I've been on this website since you told me. I just found a pair of green denim Nike Dunk Highs, 1985. Green denim, women's Nike Dunk High, 14.99. Bro, these Jones is clean, bro.
Telling you, man.
Bro, these Jones is clean, bro.
It's a
Like
hidden gem.
they look, yo, they look like they're dead stock. They're almost, they are very near DS, bro. So
Hmm.
whoever had these, they wore them maybe 3 or 4 times. These Jones is crazy. Yo, I've been on the site ever since you told me about it.
Yeah, because it's like, man, you ain't even got to go outside to thrift, man.
I
It's,
don't even have to go outside. I love this, man. This is right up my alley, bro. Because I just don't be having the time anymore to just, go off on my own and go explore and stuff. But yeah, man, 1999, those Prestos, man. Those Prestos. I love them. I love them so much. You hear my husband?
what is,
Oh, he's telling our sons it's time to go to bed.
uh, well,
It's
look,
bedtime.
I know, you gotta go. We could go all night, but thank you so much for being
I
here.
am so, so honored. I'm so flattered. I appreciate the conversation. I hope it's not the last
I'm
time.
not, of
Let's do this a little more
course,
often, because I don't really have anybody to talk sneakers with like that. So I love this, man. I really enjoyed it.
it's gonna be. You know what? We should do this. We'll do this every so often. It'll be themed. We're gonna do this. We're gonna get something
We go,
going.
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah. Let's get a little organized, a little
for sure,
structured.
for sure.
Turn into a podcast. I'll fly out to Cleveland.
Well, come down here in Carolina. I'm in Carolina.
Oh, you're in Carolina now. So we'll talk. We'll talk.
Sure, sure.
We'll talk. I appreciate you, man. Thank you
No
so
problem.
much.
Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.
Peace
Peace.
out. Bye, Chris.
Bye now.